Totally Minnie is definitely very peculiar. On the one hand, it's chaotic and not very good, but on the other, it's rather charming. This was released in 1988. It is, of course, a Disney film. It's directed by Scott Garen, and it's about this character called Maxwell Dweeb, played by Robert Carradine, and he visits this Minnie Mouse Center for the totally unhip. And while there, he learns, well, how to be hip. And a lot of that is about being himself and how he dresses. And as he goes through this center, he meets a lot of people, mostly live action people, but we also have some interaction with cartoon Minnie Mouse and some other Disney characters. The animation live action blend is pretty good, it works quite well. And we also have a very unusual moment where Minnie Mouse is performing with Elton John. This is not what I expected from this, and it's so bizarre, and it seems like nothing makes sense, but because nothing makes sense throughout it, everything makes sense within this world, if that makes sense. And it's not going to be for everybody, but if you like things that are very bizarre and generally very well edited. The live action scenes are well edited, and we have a lot of clips from Disney cartoons, and they're all very well edited together. But I will say that they kind of appear at random times throughout the film, and I feel like they were very much forced. It didn't feel very natural to then start watching these clips. So that part of it wasn't great, but it really fits in with how scattered and chaotic everything is. So it's not like it's not in keeping with the vibe of the rest of the film. And it is absolutely one of the most peculiar things I've ever seen. They basically throw a lot of Disney things at it. So if you're a Disney fan and you like watching a lot of random Disney clips, this will work very well. If you like watching live action and animation together, again, this does that very well. The set design for this Minnie Mouse Center is pretty great. We have a lot of really great colors, and it's very quirky and very fun to look at. So that also worked very well. But as I said, it's not going to be for everybody. It is very bizarre and a little bit random, and I would love to have just been in on the planning meeting for this when they were coming up with the idea, because I'd love to know how they first came up with this and then just decided to throw absolutely everything with it. Of course, there's a really good message in this about the importance of being yourself, but I feel like that's kind of lost with how bizarre everything is. The focus, or I guess it's impossible to not focus on just how strange it is. And that does kind of overshadow what is ultimately a good message. But nevertheless, if you're a Disney fan, I think you'll probably find it quite fun. I guess if you're an Elton John fan, you'll enjoy that part of it. Minnie Mouse isn't actually in it a tremendous amount. She's certainly in a lot of the clips that we see, but in terms of the cartoon Minnie Mouse on top of the live action scenes, it's not as frequent as I would have liked. But nevertheless, it does happen, and if you have an hour to spare, in fact, I think it's less than an hour, and you like Disney, and you're in the mood for something rather strange, then Totally Minnie is worth checking out. I don't know what I expected from it. It wasn't this. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It was certainly a very interesting experience.